Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. Welcome to today's episode of How You're Getting Effed. I'm your host, Louis Rossman, featuring in-sync audio this time. I will put at the end of the video what the technical difficulties were. Today, I would like to go over Amazon yet again because there is a fake review scam that went on that is, in my opinion, the worst scam that I've reviewed anytime I've gone over issues with Amazon. This is absolutely egregious, and it has scammed many people into buying a product that was fraudulently advertised where Amazon did nothing for a very long time. On this channel, I've discussed how Amazon has been going down in quality. And if you want to skip this and get to the point of today's video without a recap, I'll include a timestamp down below that you can easily click on. I've gone over the fact that Amazon went from a place where you could trust the product reviews and have an idea that what you're getting wasn't a complete scam to what it is today. Scott Galloway used to discuss something called the death of brands, where you had hundreds of millions of people purchasing products on Amazon from all over the world, and you could buy a product from virtually any category on Amazon. As I've talked about in a lot of my videos recently, there are many companies that had reputations for offering great products that no longer offer great products. You can have a company that's had an amazing reputation, 70s, 80s, 90s, even 2000s. They get bought up by some private equity firm. They get sold to somebody who sells it to somebody who sells it to somebody who sells it to somebody else. And they continue to use the trademarks, the copyrights, the logos, the rights to the brand name, even though they have decimated the quality in order to try and make more money. And what you get with Amazon when you have all these people leaving reviews are the ability to actually figure out if a company has done that bait and switch. You also get the ability to figure out if a company that nobody knows the brand name of, that hasn't really had the budget to pay for that type of advertising campaign, is making a better product. And this is a really awesome thing. You had smaller brands that were able to rise to the top based on quality. That was back when Amazon reviews weren't fake and the platform was in a steaming pile of garbage. Enter today, where you have products like electrical crimps that barely function properly because they're made like shit in order to make them cheaper. You have items like fuses that are rated for 2 amps that don't blow until you put 10 amps through them. I was able to put 6 to 8 amps through this fuse as I went to the bathroom, as I got a bottle of water, as I made a phone call to a friend. I could do all those things while putting 6 to 8 amps through a 2 amp fuse on Amazon. I've talked about the fact that Amazon sellers offer customers gift cards in order for them to leave positive product reviews, and they won't activate that gift card until the customer has left a positive product review. And these sellers have had no punishment from Amazon as a result of doing this, in spite of many people reporting them. And I've also gone over just the complete lack of trustworthiness in many of these reviews, as well as the fact that Amazon actually gaslights you by putting a little notice at the bottom explaining to you why you should trust their reviews. The response to the fake review problem wasn't to do something about it or listen to the reports of customers who have been reporting things like this and people with 1 million subscribers that demonstrate from an electronics engineering standpoint or electronic repair standpoint why these products are actually dangerous with detailed tests. Rather, it was to put a little fake notice on the bottom of their reviews, trust me bro kind of thing, and you guys know just how much I despise the concept of trust me bro. So let's go over today's scam. This is from archive.org. I love archive.org. I'm genuinely, that Australian website that did great archives, I will be donating to them, if at all possible, to the Australian government. It's the first time in my life I ever thought of donating to the Australian government after their archive website allowed me to decimate DCS, and archive.org for doing such an amazing job here. It's one thing to archive websites like mine. It's another to archive every single product page on a website like Amazon. That's insane. And they do a really good job of that here. And I have no idea how they have the money for all this, but I got to chip in there. And hopefully some of you will as well. So if you take a look over here, you will see from July 6th, 2024, we have a portable air conditioning unit here. It has 4.5 stars with 1,621 reviews, which would lead somebody to believe that this item, it may not be the fit for you, but it's most likely not a scam. It is being sold by a company called BTUs. There's the blatantly, and when it comes to the brand of this air conditioner, who knows? Now, there are some indications that this may not be what it is it's advertised as, and you can see that if you scroll down to more reviews. I'm going to try clicking see more reviews over here. Unfortunately, that is not archived, but I do have screenshots, and we are going to try the screenshots very soon. Some of the hints that you may have are that this does not look like an air conditioner. When you look at this, there's something about this. I can't get to the full picture of it because it's archive.org. But if I zoom in on it, this just don't look like an air conditioner over here. That is a review from 2022. So let's dig into what's going on here and why it is I called this a scam. Because for me to call this a scam, if I was not telling the truth, that would be defamation. I'm not saying that this is a scam in my opinion. I'm saying that I believe this to be a scam. It is a scam. Objectively true, objective fact. I'm not doing that "this is my opinion" crap in the description of my video or inside the video to try and avoid being sued. I'm going to stand behind my words. So let's go through this screenshot by screenshot, because there was somebody who actually emailed me all of this evidence, and it's just beautiful. So as you can see over here, this product on July 19th, 2024 had 4.4 stars with 4,158 reviews. This screenshot was taken on July 19th. You can't see it here, but it is in the file name, and I was going back and forth with the gentleman on this. It says it's a 16,000 BTU air conditioner. So the first item that may be somewhat suspicious to all of you is the fact that archive.org on July 6th shows that this product had 1,621 reviews, yet just a few weeks later, it has 4,158 reviews. What's up with that? Let's move on to the next screenshot. Over here, it says 4.4 out of 5 stars. And if you scroll down, you will see tool-free installation for this air conditioner. It has a picture of the air conditioner. So if you would look at this, you'd probably imagine that this product is not a scam. Now, let's look here. Came in and appeared to be used, black power and batteries already in remote. App doesn't work, Wi-Fi doesn't work, AC window kit did not include any weather foam strips. And this is a 1-star review. If you have 4.4 out of 5 stars with 4,158 global ratings, you may look at this and think, this guy's just complaining, or maybe he's one of the 4,000 people that had a problem. 0.1% of the customers, or 0.01% of the customers having a problem. Not really an issue. I'm still want to purchase this air conditioner. And this customer factually points out that 16,000 BTU on 850 watts is impossible. Unless somebody has revolutionized the concept of air compressors and physics and electronics at a very, very base level, there is no way in 2024, and there probably won't even be a way in 2030, to get 16,000 BTU on 850 watts. If you'll notice, many air conditioners do take 1,200 to 1,300 watts if we are talking about air conditioners that are being plugged into a 120 volt outlet. When you see air conditioners that are 16,000 BTU, you're usually dealing with air conditioners that plug into a 220 or 230 volt outlet, because they need the ability to get at least 2,200 watts, if not 4,000 watts, to be able to produce this level of power. This gentleman pointed out something that's factually correct. And unfortunately, due to the fact that the reviews in this product were so high, somebody may read this factually correct review from somebody who's actually able to do basic math and has some understanding of engineering at a base level, or even not even understanding of engineering. Somebody who just simply looked at air conditioners at Home Depot or Lowe's for more than 10 minutes and compared and contrasted them. This person may not be believed in spite of the fact that he's correct. And somebody else also posted a review demonstrating that this is all BS. You may notice that many of these bad reviews that are showing up are reviews that are showing up recently, July 8th, July 13th, July 10th, whereas the good reviews for the product seem to be kind of old. This, again, July 9th, 2024. Instructions have horrible grammar, obviously not English native. I managed to find the Wi-Fi instructions on page 16 after getting it all set up to the lowest setting. It still blows out room temperature air. I tested with an infrared thermometer, returning it. This person is complaining about horrible grammar. Somebody may see in the context of as many reviews as it has, listen, man, it's an affordable AC. Why are you complaining about this? You're just one of those people that you can never make happy. And when you read this, maybe you set it up wrong. Maybe you have the duct going in the wrong way, or maybe you punctured a hole in it or something. I might be inclined to believe that this is user error combined with somebody being petty if the product has so many 5-star reviews from thousands of people, and this is one of the only people complaining. Here's where it gets kind of obvious that this is a scam. When you look at this review from May 24th, 2024, I've owned about 4 different portable AC units over the years, ranging from size and price. I've never been able to find one that was compact and powerful until I was browsing Amazon and came upon this one. Super happy with purchase and fits well in home office. Super happy with purchase rather than the purchase, fits well in home office rather than my home office. This sounds like somebody that is speaking broken English. And to be clear, I have nothing against you if you speak broken English. I am never going to forget when Mr. Tagliani, the principal of PS23, asked me what languages my grandmother speak, because she was with me, and I told him as a 5-year-old, Italian and broken English. He cracked up laughing. I'm going to remember that till the day that I die. He was an amazing principal. A shout out to Mr. Tagliani if you're still alive, and fuck Miss Ferragamo, the evil principal that replaced him. Tagliani loved children. He was a good dude. Miss Ferragamo, but she fucking hated kids. I actually wrote a book about several of the people that worked at that school, and I would like to publish it at some point in my life. I'm actually looking into that, and once I'm finished editing it, I really would like to publish it. It's about 90 pages. It's going to be pretty cool. Back to this. He was one of those people from the little town, San Benedetto in Police. I'm probably mispronouncing that because I'm a horrible garbage Italian. And everybody that came over from that town to Sheepshead Bay in the 1950s and 60s, 40 years later, Louis, what do you do? Why you do with that? I don't know. Louis, what do you do? How's your husp? My personal favorite with my grandma, this little aside here, just what about if you just want to understand how that side of my family is. I'm never going to forget this for my entire life. So my grandmother, again, I'll also include a timestamp in the video down below where you could skip past this if you want to go on to the rest of the scam. This is one of the best arguments I can think of for why you should not spend 50 years in a country and after 50 years never learn the native language. My grandma would always, she would pretend, I don't know, she had ADHD that was almost as bad as mine. I think I understand where I get it from, and I would understand the argument that this is a genetic trait rather than just something that comes up randomly, just based on listening to my grandma. So she walks across the street. There's a gentleman named Bill that lives across the street, and unfortunately, he had passed away from cancer. He was the nicest man that I've ever met in my entire life. Really, really cool Scottish guy that was always open to helping you out, always open to lending you his tools, figuring out what's wrong with your house, would refuse to take your money, would demand to help you. He's one of the best people I've ever met in my life. So shouts out to Bill in the next life. If you're watching this, you're a good dude. My grandma went over Bill's house and after he passed away, and he asked his widowed wife, how's your husp? And she said, he died of cancer 6 months ago. It was painful and agonizing for him and also for me. And she goes, oh, that's a nice. Not that's nice. That's a nice. In response to her saying he died of cancer. Only in my fucking family. How's your husp? He died of cancer, which is a very painful death. And you could see her face was just falling apart with sadness. And my grandmother responds, that's a nice. This is my fucking family. Anyway, moving on from that, moving on. This seems like broken English. And again, to be clear, I have nothing against people with broken English. English is one of the most difficult languages to learn. But when you're dealing with a Chinese company and you're dealing with all the other items, when you put this in context with everything else, and you also put this in context with the time that all the bad reviews started appearing for this air conditioner, it does appear from the screenshots and from the review history from those who have all these screenshots that this air conditioner started to be advertised around May to early June of 2024. And the first review for this air conditioner, the first one, is broken English that sounds fake. Sounds fake. You let me know what you think of that. Continue onwards. This is a scam. When I first bought this product, it had thousands of reviews and 4.4 stars. Now it has 3.5 stars and 182 reviews. How does that happen? I got the product, have had it running on high. And here's the hint where this is a scam. Great gift for grandparents to share photos and video. Reviewed in the United States on December 26, 2022. I've heard of air conditioners with apps. I've never heard of an air conditioner where you could share photos and videos with your family. If we have air conditioners that have cameras in them at this point in time, I will jump off my balcony because that means I have completely lost when it comes to advocating for consumer rights, and the world that we live in has become so dystopian, I don't even want to think about it anymore. It's either that or these are reviews for a different product that was being sold at a different time under this listing. And if you paying attention here, you're probably getting an idea of where the scam is. We gave this to my parents for Christmas Day. Very pleased with the purchase. Very easy to set up, and we began using immediately. My parents are not the most tech savvy out there, and often intimidated by all things tech digital. Often intimidated, again, small little signs there, by all things tech digital, but they've already figured out how to, and I imagine it probably said use it, and it went on to give this 5-star review of a device that's utilized for video and pictures, which is not an air conditioner. Over here, this is a scam. When I first bought this product, it had thousands of reviews and 4.4 stars. Now it has 3.5 stars and 182 reviews. How does that happen? I got the product, I've had it running on high for 5 hours straight, and there's been no change in temperature. The exhaust is heating, and you can imagine that this is, you can see where this is going. Next, you take a look at the product reviews. My mom loved it. Bought this as a gift from my mom, January 2nd, 2023. She had a smaller one for years and it died, so I bought this to upgrade/replace. She loved it. The picture is clear. It's easy to use and beat all of I can send new pictures to her anytime using the Frame O app. Doesn't really sound like an air conditioner, now does it? Sturdy, easy to assemble. Reviewed in the United States on August 28th, 2022. This is a desk, and unless she painted the air conditioner black, and this is not an air conditioner anymore. Easy to assemble with provided Allen wrench, sturdy construction, solid feeling. This is a review for a desk. Scrolling downwards, great quality for the price. This looks like a bathroom, and this looks like a shower head that is being pictured over here. I bought this as a replacement for my standard shower head during renovations, and I am quite pleased with the quality and price I paid for it. It came well packaged. It was a breeze to install. It included tools and plumber's tape. There was no restrictor in it that I could see. Nice digital frame. There are so many digital frames in the market with different features and prices. And here you're starting to understand what the product is when they're talking about video and picture quality and the ability to put videos and pictures onto something easily. We are reviewing a digital picture frame, not an air conditioner. Convenient and authentic, and now we have a picture confirming that this was a digital picture frame. Moving on. You can see there's more reviews of this. This is another picture of a desk along with a cute kitty. That picture of the desk matches the picture of the desk that's up here. So this was a desk at one point in time. The frame was as described, January 2023. And you have some bad reviews of this shower head. You have some bad reviews for some of these items over here, but it's very obvious that these bad reviews, very cheap and missing envelopes. I don't even know what you were selling that had envelopes, but it probably wasn't a digital picture frame or a shower head. Large balloons don't blow up. At one point, this was a balloon. Very disappointing. Larger balloons are junk. It was too big for my arm. I don't know what this is, but it's probably not a balloon, a digital picture frame, a desk, or an air conditioner. Not great quality. And then, as you can see, when you continue scrolling, at one point, I saw that there were reviews for cream. If we fast forward to what the page looks like today on August 5th, 2024, you'll see that it's been adjusted, and you might think that ever since this has been adjusted, that the problem has been fixed. Enough people have reported this, like the people in my audience, that Amazon went in and decided to fix the problem, which is more than you can say for any of my prior videos on their fuses or on their crimps, which are functionally dangerous products. If we take a look at this page, you'll see 3.1 stars and 316 ratings, meaning that people are going to get a different impression when they look at this air conditioner, and as a result of the horrible reviews, it looks like they've lowered the price. However, there are a few things off with this. The first is that they are still rating it as 16,000 BTUs as best they can type it, which, as we've already explained, is functionally impossible. The second is, even though it says 3.1 stars up here, when you scroll down, that's not what you see. Over here, customer ratings by feature, 4.8, 4.7, 4.7, 4.6. So if somebody is scrolling through this really quickly and they're not reading it, if they're not paying full attention, which admittedly a lot of people don't do when they're shopping, they may see that there's conflicting information in there. And when there's conflicting information in a product page, it's very easy if you're shopping quickly to forget certain elements of it. You'll see 3.1 up here, but 4.8 down here. However, touchscreen. Okay. Maybe an air conditioner has a touchscreen for operation. I have a Venstar thermostat because it was compatible with Home Assistant, and it was reported to be compatible with Home Assistant, whereas some of the low-end ones, some people had issues with them, some people didn't. I didn't want to risk it, so I got the touchscreen one. The touchscreen is a piece of shit. It's like a 1997 touchscreen for when you're checking out at a store. It's absolutely horrific, but it is a touchscreen. So I may imagine that if a thermostat has a touchscreen, maybe an AC does too. However, picture quality. Picture quality on an air conditioner? You probably see where I'm going with this. These were the reviews from the picture frame, and they still have not been removed. So that means that somebody from Amazon went into this listing. They saw that there were fake reviews, and they saw that something fishy is going on there. But after a human review at Amazon, and that is my opinion, I don't know if this was a human review or something done by AI or algorithm. Point being, functionally, it's the same. It's complete shit. Picture quality 4.7. There is no such thing as picture quality on a fucking air conditioner in 2024. And when you scroll down all the way, you'll notice that when you get to the reviews, they have not just removed the reviews that were fraudulent, they've removed all of them, including the reviews that go over why this product is fake. They didn't just remove the picture frame reviews. They didn't just remove the skin cream reviews or the table reviews. They also got rid of the review that went over, from a factual standpoint, objectively, why this is impossible. An 850-watt air conditioner cannot be 16,000 BTU. This person that gave you the breadcrumb to be able to figure out that this whole listing is a scam has been erased along with everything else, and they are still listing this 16,000 watts, which again is bullshit. They're trying to say 16,000 BTUs, which is also bullshit, so they can't even get their bullshit right. And it's still for sale today. It's just because they removed the fake reviews that were good does not mean that you should remove the real reviews by verified purchasers that are bad, because this was a verified purchase. Amazon said that this is a verified purchase. Amazon said that that's a verified purchase. Amazon said that that's a verified purchase. Why would you remove the views that are verified purchases of an air conditioner that go over from an objective and factual standpoint while this product is a scam? If a human reviewed this, then they were barely paying attention and allowed this to stay up as a scam. If they had an algorithm or AI look through this, then they missed out on something that even the crappiest ChatGPT model is able to figure out in 2 seconds. If you understand, because you've looked over this page, whether it is an algorithm looking over it or a human, that this seller was scamming people, objectively scamming people by utilizing reviews from a picture frame, a desk, cream, and a shower head for an air conditioner, why would you allow them to keep the product up? Why would this person not be banned from the store? This person should be banned from Amazon, point blank, full stop, no excuses. This store should no longer exist. This seller should not be allowed on Amazon. Back in the day, I used to sell items on Amazon. I was stupid enough to do that. And I would sell items under the correct listing. Because I did the right thing, I was punished. When you're dealing with scam artists, scum, and villainy, like the people on Amazon, you are going to be punished for doing the right thing. I used to sell screens wholesale. This was a business I had from 2010 through 2014. With that business, I would sell LCD screens to laptops, and there were certain laptops during transitionary periods that were very difficult to sell screens for. What I mean when I say transitionary is during 2010, 2011, many manufacturers started shifting from using fluorescent backlit screens in their laptop to LED backlit screens. LED backlit screens are superior in every single way. They give you better battery life, they last longer, and they are more affordable. So many manufacturers shifted over even if they had the same product line. So the Acer 5517, without changing the model number of it, switched over to using an LED backlit screen like a B156XW02V6, an LP156WH2TLQ2, or an N156B6LLB, which were all cross-compatible. Sometimes you had EDID code issues. The B156XW02V6 was the most compatible across all laptops, which is the one that usually stocked. The N156B6LLB could cause issues from time to time. In the listing, I would tell people that you needed, in all caps, to look inside your laptop, because this was a transitionary laptop, and read the model number off of your screen. Do not buy this because it says it can be compatible with an Acer 5517. You must read the model number off of the screen of your laptop. Most people did not want to open their laptop. And further, since the fluorescent backlit screen was about $120 and the LED backlit one was $50, you can imagine the customer service nightmare that was. So there would be a customer that needed this part over here. And because this part was $120, since it was discontinued but also more expensive to manufacture, it was more expensive than this one, the LP156WH4 TLA1. So what customers would do, instead of buy the product that they needed, they would buy the product that was cheaper. And because this is Amazon, the customer was allowed to literally cut the product up into pieces to try to make the wrong product fit into their computer. Because I sold the proper product under the proper listing, I would be punished. I actually wound up getting banned from Amazon because I would get A to Z claims from these people claiming that I sold them a fraudulent product when I did not. Amazon would not look into the issue to realize that my listing was accurate. They ignored every single response that I gave them was factually, objectively true. They got rid of my ability to sell on the platform, and they held several $1,000s for 6 months, just in case any of the people that I scammed wanted a refund and I didn't have the money to give them, or I closed my bank account. So Amazon is more than happy to drill into people that actually do the right thing, and they are not willing to go through this and realize that this is a scam after several years of this seller scamming their customers. This person will likely still be allowed to sell for years and years to come. And the way that I know that is in this video that I did where I encouraged people to try these fuses, repeat these tests that I did, where I showed you exactly how to perform them to see that these fuses are fraudulent. After this video was produced, as you can see, this seller is still selling this item on the platform. They still are getting reviews that are positive, that are most likely fake, and they are still 4.6 stars. On Amazon, if you are a scammer, they have no problem with you being on the platform, and they'll continue to allow you to lie. That is objectively true. I dare Amazon to try to sue me. I am not going to say that that is opinion. That is objective fact. I will stand behind it, unlike people on YouTube that say opinion. In this video, I'm showing you something that Amazon said that is gaslighting you as a customer. Our goal is to make sure every review is trustworthy and useful. That's why we use both technology and human investigators to block fake reviews before customers ever see them. We block Amazon accounts that violate our community guidelines. We also block sellers who buy reviews and take legal actions against parties who provide these reviews. This is an objective example that you can see, not just on archive.org, not just from the screenshots this gentleman sent me. You can also see it on their own company website because it is still there today. And I highly encourage anybody who's watching this video to take a screenshot of this or to download this copy of the website and archive it in case they take it down into the future. They said over there in their own words on Amazon.com, screenshotted in this video at the time that I made it, that not only do they block these accounts, but it's technology and human investigators. So when I said before, I'm not really sure if it's an algorithm or humans, I was actually wrong when I said that. I will take that back. Humans are looking at these product pages and still allowing scams to stay up. Even though the Consumer Product Safety Commission decided to say that Amazon is to be held accountable and responsible for fraudulent products on their platform or hazardous products on their platform, this doesn't mean anything unless they decide to start taking action and provide real, genuine, honest punishment for Amazon. When you take a look over here, I've went over in great detail, and you can see every source in the description. Do not trust people who do not provide you primary sources. The FCC fined carriers that sold your data against their privacy policy as well as the law 0.02% of their net profit for 1 year. If Amazon gets a slap on the wrist that is equivalent to 0.02% of their profit for 1 year, that means that they will continue doing this because that is the cost of doing business. If you make $30 billion off of doing something wrong, but you pay a fine of $500 million, you're actually encouraging me to continue doing it into the future. If I don't get caught and I'm doing something wrong, I will always have that fear in the back of my mind that someday I may be caught, and once I'm caught, I'm going to be in serious trouble and I'm going to be bankrupt. Your imagination is always going to jump to the worst possible thing. However, if I am fined 0.02% of my net income for the year, I am no longer going to be afraid. I'm no longer going to have my imagination in the back of my head going, oh my God, what if I go bankrupt? Oh my God, what if I go to jail? Oh my God. It's not going to do that because now I have confirmation that I will get away with it, that this is simply a cost of doing business, that is 0.02%. This may actually occur here where Amazon gets fined so little money that it is confirmed that they should continue doing this. In the United States, consumer protection agencies and consumer protection law is so bad that once that consumer protection law has gone into action, once that consumer protection agency has actually taken action against the person or the company who has abused the consumer, that company is now emboldened to do it more because they realize that the punishment is nothing. When the FTC told all these companies, we have the ability to fine you $35,000 per violation. We have this list of thousands of violations and we are fining you nothing. Those companies are actually going to be emboldened to break warranty law, and more companies are going to break warranty law and the Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act as a result of seeing that. If I saw that I could do horrible crap and rip off my customers, and I was a scumbag, I think I'm a bad person, but I don't think I'm a true scumbag, I would look at this and go, well, I'm definitely going to rip off all my customers now because I have the ability to, because you're not going to stop me. That can't happen here, but it probably will happen here. And here's why. AWS has contracts with the CIA. AWS has contracts with all of these different government agencies. AWS runs the internet. I talked about this in a video that I did several years ago where AWS went down, and as a result of AWS going down, all my services didn't work. VoicePulse was using AWS. I was using VoicePulse for SIP trunking, which I am no longer stupid enough to do because they are horrible. I was using VoicePulse for SIP trunking, so I could not call my customers or receive phone calls at my business. I was using Repair Shopper, whose backend is AWS, and that meant that I could not look up customer tickets. Some of my email stuff was set up on AWS, which meant that I could not use email. I was not paying AWS directly in these instances, and I did not have an AWS account. I signed up for other services, and every single one of these services was using AWS as their backbone because it is so ubiquitous now. When AWS goes down, the internet goes down with it. Their services are not bad. AWS is not bad. I'm not going to say that AWS is horrible. What I'm saying is that the backbone of the internet being on it to the point where the government is using all these services, you know what it's going to be like to untangle all this crap just so you could find Amazon? Scott Galloway, whether you like him or not, has a book called The Four, and he has many talks on YouTube. And even if you don't like his opinions and other stuff, you don't like his pot, whatever it is, you got to admit that he is correct. He has made the arguments here when it comes to Amazon and a lot of these large companies of breaking them up. If the Amazon store was a separate company from AWS, this would not hurt the industry. This would actually allow each company to have a higher market cap in the long term when you combine them all, because each one would be encouraged to innovate. One would not be able to subsidize the other. More importantly, regulators would be able to go after Amazon without somebody in the government at some point tapping on their shoulder and say, hey man, you can't really hurt them that much. We use their services. This is not even an issue where lobbyists are going to tap on their shoulder and say, we'll give you money to do this. Because at the end of the day, that's not even how lobbying always works. I think that that is a characterization of it. In reality, at least over the past 10 years of my experience, it's not about lobbyists giving money. It is about the politicians being idiots. I digress. this would be somebody in the government tapping on the shoulder of that person that wants to find Amazon out the ass and give them something like 50% of their net income for the year, 80% of their net income for the year, and saying, hey, man, if you do that, we're fucked. You can't do that. Like, we're the CIA. We use their services. We can't just like migrate off of it immediately. You can't do that. That's what's going to happen, which means that Amazon is going to be able to continue getting away with this as they have here. I went over how their products are faulty, and I demonstrated in my video, without editing any of these elements out, exactly how you could repeat these tests for yourself to realize that these products are objectively scams. They are still there. This is why they are still there. You cannot have one company be the backbone of the world. You cannot have AWS exist with the Amazon store and everything else, because that means that you cannot punish this company. Now, to be clear, I'm not saying that we should not be able to punish AWS if they do something wrong. If AWS does something wrong, some agency that enforces the laws that AWS needs to abide by should be able to fine them. This is not an ideal scenario, but it is better than what we have now. Antitrust in America in 2024 is a joke. Keep in mind that in the late 90s, a company like Microsoft could get in trouble for bundling Internet Explorer with Windows. Whether or not you think that is a good thing or a bad thing, it demonstrates that antitrust in America was at least awake. They weren't sleeping at the wheel like somebody who is driving on autopilot with a Tesla who actually believes in Elon's bullshit of full self-driving. They are genuinely asleep at the wheel, and that's bad for all of us. It's going to result in people buying dangerous products. It's going to result in people losing trust in the system in general. And the more that people lose trust in the system in general, the worse things go for everybody. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I have canceled my Amazon Prime account. As you can see, they continue to bother me about doing something with Prime and giving them money for Prime. I don't give them money for any of this, and I do my best to place my orders for products elsewhere for my personal use. I do not want to use Amazon personally. I don't like using Amazon personally. I try to buy my items from other places when possible. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you in the next video. Bye now. Now for why the video wasn't in sync. So this really fucking pisses me off. It's all 60 frames per second versus 59.94 bullshit. I am an idiot. So what I did is I actually used FFprobe, FFmpeg tools, V4L2 utilities to figure out what my stream was. Usually, it'll tell you it's a 59.94 or 60 frames per second. So when you use these tools, it'll tell you either 60 divided by 1, which means that the HDMI output from my camera is 60 frames per second. Actually 60 frames per second, not 59.94. If it is 59.94 frames per second, which is NTSC video, back in the analog day, that would be demonstrated as 60,000 divided by 1001. And 60,000 divided by 1001 would show you that the HDMI output is actually 59.94 frames per second. So I actually believe that when my camera said 60 frame per second output, it doesn't say 59.94, it says 60 in there. When my HDMI capture hardware said that it was 60 divided by 1, not 59.94, which would be represented as 60,000 divided by 1001. So I set 60 frames per second in my capture software. I set 60 frames per second as the video device, and I set 60 frames per second in Davinci Resolve. Admittedly, Davinci Resolve tells you. Davinci Resolve is fucking smart. And by the way, Davinci Resolve is a piece of software that functions as perfectly on Linux as it does on Windows. This is a video editor that I've been using for 5 years on Linux. It doesn't crash. These people deserve money. I like Blackmagic for the Davinci Resolve software that they make. I paid for it. Even though it works on Linux without paying and it works on Windows without paying, I don't give a shit. I bought the Pro version that has features that I most likely don't even bother using because this is really just angry man yells into camera. I'm not making cinematic videos. It's just really, really good. It's really good. Davinci Resolve Studio told me, in spite of the fact that you set your capture software and OBS and everything else to 60, we're going to look at this file that is claimed to be 60 frames per second and VLC, everything else, and say that's bullshit. This is 59.94. If I listen to Davinci Resolve and click that little button and change the project, everything would have been good. So for the video that was really far off sync, that's why. And that's something you need to check if you are doing these type of videos. This is not going to be relevant to anybody who has a brain, which is 99.99% of the people uploading videos. This is only relevant for the people out there, 0.01% of the people that have an IQ below room temperature, like me. Now, when the audio is mildly out of sync, that's usually just some fucking Linux bullshit. I'll be honest. Like, when I have my buffer size set to 128 on this fucking interface, No. That's some Linux shit right there. It never happens to me on Windows, does on Linux. And it's random too. But that hyper out of sync shit, that's what it was. Anyway, that's it for today. And as always, hope you learned something. See you all in the next video. Bye now.